Mecca Pact force Pakistan to go to war against the Houthis? That's the crucial question hanging in the air, and we are decoding this for you bit by bit. There are several layers. Let's just peel them off one by one. Starting off with what's actually happening behind the scenes. A major plan is in the works, one that could completely shift the dynamics in West Asia and beyond, and drag the region deeper into despair with far-reaching ripple effects. A Yemeni minister has issued a major warning about what could lie ahead. He has reportedly warned that the country's Houthi rebels are plotting to seize land along the Bab Al-Mandeb Strait, which would basically allow them to further strengthen and further threaten the vital shipping artery. And this is according to an AFP report. Let's just tell you more about what the report says. According to it, 3 Houthi military sources and a spokesman for the Yemeni government forces battling them near the waterway, telling AFP that the rebels are planning to advance south from their current territory. Let's just lay out the geography for you here, bit by bit. In fact, according to that report, the Houthis are working to create conditions for seizing control of this strait by basically expanding presence along the western coast. There we have it. That's the area we're talking about. And attempting to also control the strategic Yemeni islands in the Red Sea. In fact, let's also tell you how, according to that report, the plans, as illustrated, repeated targeting of ports, docks, civilian infrastructure, ships, government naval capabilities. And as the report also outlines, the Houthis currently do not control coastal areas directly on the strait, but they do hold the key port city of Hodeidah to the north, and have repeatedly, remember, attacked ships in the Red Sea as well. With Iran's closure of the Strait of Hormuz, this new waterway at stake, and it has gained increasing importance as a crucial transit route for Saudi oil. In fact, we've been telling you about these attacks that have been undertaken by the Houthis. They have also started targeting Yemen's port city of Mocha, which basically lies close to the Bab Al-Mandeb, as well as military sites near the strait and government-controlled islands in the Red Sea as well. So if the rebels are trying to secure a foothold in Bab Al-Mandeb, the continued attacks on Mocha and its port, the Houthi militia basically seeking to establish a presence along the shores of the Bab Al-Mandeb Strait and transform the area basically into what could be a situation looking like that of the Strait of Hormuz. Let's just also explain the context first. Yemen, remember, last month became the latest front to open in the West Asia war that broke out on the 28th of February with US military strikes on Iran. The Houthi attacks and their attempt to blockade Saudi Arabia's Red Sea ports came after tit-for-tat strikes in early July, following the arrival of that Iranian plane in the Yemeni capital. Yemen, remember, has been embroiled in more than a decade of war, and the latest fighting upended that truce with the Saudi-backed internationally recognized government as well. Let me also point out here, these details that the report mentions carry implications for the entire world. If such an attack is successful, it could basically cement Houthi control over one of the world's busiest shipping lanes. Remember, this is the strait that we are talking about, which basically connects these two arteries that we are going to be laying out for you. That's where the Bab Al-Mandeb is, that's the Strait of Hormuz, and this waterway, if it is under attack and under continuing stakes as well, the Iran-backed rebels, remember, have disrupted this with attacks on passing vessels since the war broke out in Gaza in 2023. It would also extend the hold of Tehran and its allies to a second vital waterway in the region, after Iran closed the Strait of Hormuz in its war with the United States. So greater Houthi control of this strait would basically threaten to choke off oil exports from Saudi Arabia, against which the rebels have announced that maritime blockade. And let's just tell you more about the backdrop. This is the latest in a string of extremely concerning developments, leaving the world watching on with bated breaths. And look at the larger picture and the key questions. Will the Mecca Pact then have to become operational in Yemen in such a scenario? Will Pakistan be forced to fight the Houthis? Will it open the Balochistan front then? If Iran starts a counteroffensive, the possibilities and the consequences could be lethal and far-reaching. You see, when Saudi Arabia, Pakistan and Turkey signed that joint defense agreement in Mecca, the Mecca Joint Defense Agreement, it was intended to strengthen collective deterrence against any act of aggression and stipulates that an armed attack against any one of the three would be regarded as an attack on all. Remember, cracks started showing soon after that pact was sealed? But then, given the warnings and the possibilities doing the rounds, it is important to highlight here how the trilateral framework could strengthen the three countries' collective diplomatic and defense weight as well, while contributing to the emergence of a more regionally driven security architecture. Although Pakistan agreed to that mutual defense pact with Saudi Arabia last year, it has not responded to Iran's attacks on the kingdom militarily. But with things escalating to this extent, will it now be forced to fight the Houthis? Remember, Iran is watching these developments very closely. In fact, Iran's Revolutionary Guards reportedly now warning that Saudi Arabia will not be able to contain the Tehran-backed Houthis in Yemen as the rebels ramp up those attacks on the kingdom. And what's Donald Trump up to? What's his strategy looking like right now? He wants to basically now resort to economic warfare against Iran. He has warned of economic consequences against any country that provided any type of lifeline to Iran. Iran seems to be laughing this off. The Iranian foreign minister called Trump's comments an attempt to divert American public opinion from domestic financial problems, including record debt and rising interest rates. And according to him, Washington's insistence on policies he described as failed would bring further failures and alienate the Iranians. As of now, West Asia is a tinderbox. All that it will take for a lethal explosion is just one trigger, sending the flames of uncertainty and chaos spreading far and wide. To stay up to speed with the latest news, download the WION app and subscribe to our YouTube channel.